Okay, I guess we'll start now. Um, I'm not sure when the best time to do these is going to be, because I don't know what time zone everyone's in. So maybe we will change that in the future to accommodate everyone. But anyways, um, I also want this to be on YouTube so it can be private, but my account is not verified yet, so we'll need to wait until next time for that. So I guess we can start. Feel free to message me or just chat in the Discord, and then I can read your messages and respond. So I guess we can look at identifying support and resistance levels. So basically, your most important levels are going to be your horizontal levels, and usually it's based on where the volume is and where the breakouts happened previously. So you draw some lines on your chart, and then you get a breakout, and so like right here, this is going to be a support level in the future. And then if you break it, it becomes a resistance level. And then if you break it again, it will become your support, and then you get a breakout. And then kind of, you get the same thing happening here. And then this becomes another level. And that's kind of where we bounced before. And that's why I was trying to buy in here. And then if this failed, I would be trying to buy in this zone. And also, you're probably trying to look for some kind of psychological levels, which is like 10k, because that's a big number. That's kind of where we stalled out for a bit. And then as soon as that broke, we just went straight up. And then we also bounced there a couple times, so you could have taken some trades there. And then if we're just going straight up, it's a lot harder to find the resistance. You can kind of look at where we went before. But it wasn't actually very helpful, because we're just going parabolic, so we just ignored all these levels. This was the only kind of level that mattered for a bit. But if you look back here, you can probably draw like a diamond top here. And then this point is where we broke down. We kind of had some market structure, we had some trend line, but as soon as this line broke, we dumped like 30%. So this is an important level, just because you're looking at this pattern, and then this is the breakout point. So there's a lot of volume in this area. Everything beyond this is kind of, there's less volume. It's faster, but there's consolidation at the midline of this kind of pattern, and that's where we did stop. And then we also have, like, you know, this very obvious, like, descending triangle. And as soon as we break this line, you just go straight up, because it's like, you call this a reverse busted breakout. So basically we break out one way, and then eventually the market decides it doesn't want to go this way, and it comes back, and as soon as you cross this breakout point, it invalidates this pattern, and you'll just go straight up. And that's kind of what's happening on a low time frame right now. We have the same kind of like diamondish top, where we consolidated around 12k, and that's where the price is drawn back to retest. So that's why I think if we were to close above this line, we would probably very quickly go up here, and then if we're going back to 14k, you know, we're going back higher. So that's why I was selling into, you know, the resistance here, and yeah, we broke down now. We had this little flag, and then we broke up, and so most of the volume's like right here, around here, so that's where we're stalling out right now. If we were to go lower than this, it would basically invalidate the bullish market. But we can definitely bounce here, keep going up, like kind of like what happened here before. Yeah, so I think there's a lot of people who want to buy, you know, down here below 11,000, and there was a lot of people who wanted to buy like this area, but we front run everybody there, and then we front run everybody here. There's a lot of FOMO, so I'm not exactly sure where we're headed now. And the way I was finding these levels was using the tensor charts. You can see like all the lines these are order blocks, basically recorded at every interval in the chart from the book. So this shows like bids and asks, so it's kind of represents supply and demand. And when we were down here, we were really we were really stacking bids. Everybody wanted the 40% dip, um, and I think that just got front run, because we went down 30% and that was enough. These little green arrows, they're part of I have like the subscription. I think there's some kind of analysis on buy volume, so that's like a buy signal and sell signals. Actually pretty accurate. I'm not sure how they measure this. And then we had the same thing happen here. You can see all the bids start getting stacked, and then when they're not getting filled, we just start FOMOing. And then it kind of happened here again, just very lightly, but then it's not the same amount as before. And you can also see like the resistance, like when we're down here, there's literally nothing above. There's no resistance. So that's why you can just keep going. And this is just the BitMEX, but you can look at the other exchanges. It's kind of similar. Here's the Bitfinex. There's a lot of buys in the same area, and then when we start getting up here, that's when people start trying to sell a bit. On the right is the volume profile, which I think you have if you have some kind of TradingView subscription. It's also available on Coinigy, but you have to go to their special beta and you get like a shittier version. But you can see, actually it's more visible here. You can see this is like where most of the volume was, specifically like 11.3 down to like 11k. So that's where we go back to, because this is where most of the price action was. So this is where people feel comfortable buying again. And if you look at a larger time frame, when we went straight up, we had no volume, so this is very weak. And then you look at the chart and you're seeing, okay, we had some volume here, so if we went back down towards this area, we're probably going to bounce, and that's exactly what happens. And then it's still weak up here, and we're overextended, so you see another gap here. So this is probably the next area the price would go to fill, and then it would stop around like where the previous price action was, previous volume. So now we're just consolidating and where most of the volume took place previously. Yeah, if there's lots of these lines in one area, it basically represents support and resistance. As far as I can tell, it's not as easily spoofed, because if you have the line over a period of time, that means somebody's leaving it open on the book, like this is over like a day. Somebody has, the yellow ones are usually like 300 Bitcoin. Somebody has 300 Bitcoin buys open, and they're just leaving them open trying to get filled. Whereas spoofing, it's usually very quick, so it doesn't even appear on here. And so far this has been very accurate for finding reversals. Like here, all the bids started getting stacked, and then we went up here. There's a lot of cells, and you kind of want to look at. I usually look at Coinbase, Bitfinex, and BitMEX, and you can also look at Bitstamp and Binance, but they're not as useful, I think. See here again, all these massive buys, and then there's no resistance above, so we can just bounce right off, go straight up, and then you can see there's some buyers at 10.5 who are wanting to get filled, but Coinbase is not the most useful. It's usually just a lot of buying. I think Bitfinex and BitMEX are the most useful. On Bitstamp we had this weird buy block. I don't know, we bounced there. You can see there's a lot of selling trying to happen. And then the same buys getting stacked. So you guys have any questions or some alts you want me to chart? Aeon, AST, Bolton Coin. I can't tell if like a big pump or dump is going to happen, but I can tell if a reversal might happen because like in the current zone, I don't have anything I can read from the tensor chart, but if you do see this kind of stuff on there, then that means there's buying pressure or selling pressure if it's on the top, and then you can get a reversal. You know, it's not 100%, but it has definitely been helping my analysis. So kind of looks like all alts where you had a bounce, you know, as Bitcoin dumped, but it was just mostly flat in USD, and now it's kind of retesting its support, and I'm not very sure it's going to hold. If Bitcoin starts going above 12,000, this is going to drop 50% more, I think. Um, if you're in a coin, if you're in any altcoin, you basically want the previous level to hold. You know, if it goes below here or it starts going down in USD, I would just cut it. You know, you want it to bounce here, or it's gonna die, is my opinion. Oh, this one looks better because it didn't bounce like the other ones when it was supposed to. So now it's actually looking bullish now. All the other ones kind of went like this, uh, but this looks a lot better. Yeah. You kind of want it to hold above like this level. And then you'd like it to go up to here maybe. It looks like it's pumping on news or something, but if it's not, then it looks bullish, yeah. Link, if you have a significant amount of Link, I would be selling it at these prices. I would have been selling at $5 or $4, because this whole move is definitely ridiculous. I'm not sure how much more you can expect from it. Like we pumped on Google and then we pumped on Coinbase. Um, it's definitely going to correct back down eventually. I definitely wouldn't be buying up here. You can try to trade the swings because it bounces a lot. It bounces like 20%, but it's risky. It's tricky to trade this. So if you're a holder, I'd be a seller at these prices for sure. Um, if if it somehow kept going, the highest I think it would go would be like $6 or $7. In reality, like $100 is very unlikely, you know. Uh, this looks bad, you know. This look is gonna go back down here. You had your run. It's correcting now. You don't want to buy this. You don't have a reason to buy this, I don't think. This looks like a scam coin. Scam pumps. The market maker is just dicking around. Kind of, yeah, double bottomed. And so maybe you can buy closer to that bottom and hope it holds, but you're kind of just gambling there. I don't know. Do I look at Binance volume or Bitcoin dominance? I look at it occasionally, but I don't really. You can just throw it on like 12-hour hiking candles, And you can clearly see when the trend is for Bitcoin and against Bitcoin. Like, you don't want to be buying alts like here. You don't want to be buying alts now. If it starts printing red candles, that's when you maybe start buying alts, because it's very slow. It's not. It follows the trend. So if the trend is against you, you don't want to be in it. And you can also look at the altcoin market cap. This is charts that cointrader.pro has all this information. And you see, like, oh, we actually bounced on this line. We have kind of a trend line that is actually being followed, which is weird. Because you shouldn't be able to chart on this, because it's just it's not a price. But I wouldn't want to kind of break this line. It just looks like we're going. You don't want this to happen to your alts. So that's why I'm not really buying alts. This doesn't look great. Nothing about this looks like a buy to me. Alts went up like, people don't realize alts went up a lot. Like 3x in USD. You might still be down in sats, but they are still up and they can still correct. And also, I want to talk about risk management, especially if you're doing some leverage trading. This is Nayu. This is Twitter, Nayu, ROE. He's on the leaderboard. He can do very well. I think he started with 0.01 on this account, and he turned it into 2.5, which is 250x. Very good. And you can see his strategy is mostly small gains. At the start, I think he is more of a degenerate, but eventually, once he gets to a higher balance, he's just looking for. I've talked to him. He just wants like one trade a day. Just wants like 5 or 10%, and then that's it. You don't need to chase big numbers, and you're just stacking your returns. And then you're betting on your own consistency and trading. So this is usually my strategy for leverage trading, just slowly growing the account, looking for 5 or 10% every day, even a few percent, and avoiding any big losses is the key. He only had 5 losses, which are the red ones, and those losses were only 3%, 1%, 1%, 1%, a few percent here, and that's it. You don't want to be able to lose too much on the account, and you want the gains to be consistent with your trading. So this is how I trade, and this is how I recommend you trade, using lower leverage. I probably recommend you use like 3x or 5x or less. And then this is Ask Me How. I'm sure you know him. He also multiplies his account. It's just a 0.2, and then he gets up to 11, and he had an unrealized P&L of 50, which is when we were at 14k. But he blew the account when we went to 14k. Then we corrected down. When we did this run, if you had any stops in this zone, you were getting your stops filled $1,000 lower. So he blew his account basically, um, because his trading style is very degenerate. You know, he's chasing uh, 10x gains on every trade, and you know this can work. He's just longing his longs. You know, just longer again, longer again. You're dead. You know, you don't want to trade like this. You don't want to use the high leverage, chasing the high gains, because your strategy might work in the current market, um, but if the market conditions change, that's when you get liquidated. And that's when you're dead. So don't trade like that. Just look for consistency and low leverage, and that's how you stay profitable and don't get wrecked. It's pretty bullish. It's been bullish for a while. This is definitely one of the more bullish alts, but looks like it kind of blew off, corrected back to the line, and now it's just doing a little bounce. You know, probably go back to here, and then it could go higher. There's a lot of people shilling it. There's kind of hype around it. I have no idea why. Because it does dark pools, maybe. I don't know. But some alts are just bullish, and that's just it. So any other questions or alts? Okay. Yeah, that's all I have right now. I'm gonna go get some food now. Because I just woke up actually. My sleep schedule is really bad. But I'll try to make this into a more convenient time for everyone because most people aren't even on right now. Try to figure out when is good. And yeah, good luck with your trading. See you guys later.